Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Summa Social Elite, hosted by yours truly, Donna Newman of Summa Social. And we've had such fun these past 4 weeks in keeping your business goals on target for results. Well, today is no different. Today's topic is the fifth and final webinar of our 5-part series, and that is featuring the T of SMART New Year's resolutions for social media. And that T is time-bound. But first, we are going to wish you a very happy Valentine's Day. And just a heads up, really appreciate the fact that we have lots of people on the webinar today, and I get a privilege to take 30 minutes out of your day to be together with you. Thank you so much for that. Well, before we turn the spotlight on time-bound, let's recap our 5 SMART resolutions. And that being, the first S stands for specific, so that you can drive more targeted traffic to help you create more intentional customers. Number 2 is measurable, because social media marketing, what once was thought of as being in the leprechaun or the unicorn category, the nebulous category, now has a metric, has an outcome that we can actually put to it to yield some tangible results. A stands for achievable, because this starts with a realistic plan. It's good to have a plan, but you gotta know if it's a stretch goal that you can achieve. R is for relevant, because social peer influence drives buying decisions, especially in today's economy, and that's why social media is not only popular to spend time on, but it's relevant for small business owners to spend time on. And then finally, our featured guest of today is T for time-bound. Time management is a key attribute for social media success. So many small business owners don't know how, and then when they do try, they spend an inordinate amount of time, and they don't bound their time relative to their tasks, so they end up spending more time getting frustrated and not yielding the results that they think that they should. This is just a reminder then that T is for time-bound. We're really going to set a plan, and this is for the neophyte. This is for the time-pressed office. This is for somebody who really wants to get in, get it done, and have this solid satisfaction that time was well spent, and there's going to be an outcome, a yield that you can count on. But before we head into everything, I just want to give you a quick housekeeping reminder that if you have any pressing questions, sometimes asking it midstream isn't always easy, because then we interrupt the flow. So if you can just pop it into the question box located on the webinar, then I will get to that at the very end and make sure that I don't overlook anything. And sometimes if we come to the 30-minute mark and we've got it loaded with questions, I'll go ahead and text you, or I'll Facebook message you, or I'll send it to the group so that everyone can benefit. But we'll definitely take care of giving you some solid answers. T is for time-bound. We want to remember that. That's every bit of what we want to do. But here's where we start. All too often, when we look at social media, when we look at marketing, let's just be honest. When we look at marketing, it's often that we have a deer in the headlights. Oh my goodness, what do I do? What do I say? Who's my target audience? I don't know, but I better go back to make that widget. I love doing my service. I love fulfilling the service. Well, this is really what we feel like when we're heading into a marketing plan or a social media plan, because we're not quite sure what the process is and what the steps are in order to achieve our outcome. And then I want to remind you, why in the world are we doing search? Why are we doing social media in the first place? Well, that all goes back to the heart and soul of the food chain. When you're looking at what has affected the economy, it is that people's attitudes and the culture has changed. Now people, when they're looking to find out a product or a service, they are first not searching consumer reports anymore. They are first going to the internet. And I've shown this a time or two, but I really wanted to let you know in an imagery and really hone home why social media is so important. So think of it this way. Social media sites are the bread and butter for internet search engines. And I refer to this image again, as I've done in the last two webinars, because I really want to drill home the simplicity and the efficacy of why you're doing social media marketing in the first place. So picture yourself and your content as that little fish. You are the minnows. The middle fish are the search engines, and they are eating you up. The more you provide, the better they eat. So as a little fish, you have got to feed the search engines with content. And again, the better the quality of your content and the more of your content, the less likely the search engine will eat anybody else but you. So speaking of content, let's talk about that real quick. We're going to look at the content being compelling, shareable, and persuasive. So when the blue fish, which is your consumer, is out there looking on a search engine for compelling, shareable, persuasive content that meets their keywords, they will stop their tracks when they see it on the top or the first page of the search engine if it meets all of that criteria, or at least one. So they are headed out as the blue fish, going to the search engines to find their minnows, their answers, their solutions, and you are the minnows. So the whole goal of social media is to be able to provide relevant content out on the search engines that gets you found, as well as to build relationships on that specific platform. And today we're going to be talking about Facebook, so that you have a brand worth following. And that gives you further social proof that you are the answer to their solution or to their question. So we're going to look at 7 daily tactics, 7 daily actions that you can do to really tackle that social media overwhelm. And the first one we're going to be looking at is using keywords to find targeted friends. And targeted friends are every bit likely candidates, warm market colleagues who would be interested in your service, in your product, in your brand. Then we're going to feature, what does it look like to accept new friends? Most people just click accept, or decline, but they don't take the initiative to build the relationship by writing on that person's wall. And this is a huge oversight. Third is wishing people happy birthday. This is something that really cultivates your personal brand. And what I have found time and time again, whether you're a realtor, whether you're an author, whether you're a dentist, you're a medical doctor, or you just happen to be a small business owner, everybody loves to be recognized. And when you go out of your way to do that genuinely, people want to reciprocate, and they also want to get to know you a little bit more. Fourth is posting on your personal and on your business page. Number 5 is personal and business news feeds. This is where I want you to enter into each of those news feeds and look at any postings. If you can identify one that is a compliment to your brand or really connects home with your personal brand, I want you to post a comment. I want you to maybe like it. I even want you to go so far as to share it, and we'll talk a little bit about the outcome of that. Welcome new fans with a private message. This, again, is an excellent way to follow through and really demonstrate your business brand. And then finally, actually, that last one is number 7. You want to respond to fans' comments with likes, shares, and comments. These are comments that they're making relative to your postings on your wall. And all of this, again, is within the category of being time-bound. But we're giving you specific actions, 7 daily specific actions, so you really know how to tackle that social media overwhelm, which allows you to build your personal brand and pushes out relevant content to that search engine so that you will be gobbled up by the consumer and likely chosen. So let's get started. Let's talk about what is time-bound. Here, the very first one you're going to want to look at is find friends. And the best way to do that is to be able to go to your personal profile, and like in the top circle up here, you're going to click on friends, which then advances you to the second screen where you're going to see these different categories. The total friends, recently added, friends from your high school, from your college, from your work. And then this little button top right up here is where you're going to be clicking so that you can find additional friends. And up pops this page. The reason you want to find friends is when you think about sales, you always go to what's called your warm market, people who already know, like, and trust you. And I know that's probably one of the most uncomfortable first looks because we don't want to sell our friends. But what our friends know that nobody else knows is how good we are at what we do. So when you have a chance to build your brand genuinely, reconnecting with people from past communities that you've lived in, from your high school, your college, past employers, maybe you went to graduate school, wherever that category is, you have a chance to rekindle the relationship and reconnect with them. They're going to ask, and they always love to ask, what's happening with you? And if you built a really good personal brand back when you knew them, they are going to be equally eager today to get to know you as they were in enjoying your friendship back then. So you have a chance to rekindle a relationship, showcase what you're doing. They very well may be interested in what you have as a product or a service. Your job here is not to pitch, but to really nest and take advantage of a community that really appreciates you as a person, because personal brand is first and foremost what helps you as a realtor, what helps you as a dentist, a doctor, author, no matter what industry you're in. Everybody continues to come back to your product or service because of your personal brand. Accepting new friends. This is where, when you are up top, you're going to be seeing this icon of these double silhouettes, and people will request to be your friends. Now, sometimes you're going to look at them and you're going to say either not now or never or decline entirely. Well, it just so happens, here's one of my examples. I got a friend request from Noelle. I met her at a speaker's lab a couple of days ago. She did a fantastic job making a presentation at one of my speaking labs where we go and we demonstrate our skills and our strength and get some feedback so that when we go out for that paid opportunity, we're really fabulous. Well, it turns out that she had 3 mutual friends in common, one of whom was just a dynamo that I wanted to know, how did she know her? So after I accepted her friend request, just like I've mentioned to you, the importance is to go on this person's wall and write them a personal message, because I don't want to just accept her and let my friend base continue to accumulate, because that's not doing me any good. I'm not building relationships. I'm not taking advantage of identifying my warm market that would be interested in maybe working with me and not caring for anybody. So here I'm going on her wall and I'm posting a personal message. Hi, Noelle. So good to see you at NSA Speaker Lab yesterday. Brilliant performance. Remember, everybody likes a genuine compliment. Oh, just noticed we have one of my favorite friends in common. How do you know Tammy Weldon Abernathy? This gives me an opportunity to take the conversation to the next level because I've left a question that is equally common for her to answer as it is for me. And she's going to be intrigued to know how I might know Tammy. But also, the fun thing is that when I was at Speaker Lab and Noelle had a chance to know what my background is, especially with Summa Social, she said, I've been looking for someone like you. Can I call you? Because I think I might need your talent. So here I had an opportunity to build a relationship. I had an opportunity to take advantage of who we were connected to, because if she knows Tammy, then I already really like her. And then she said she probably wanted to check out my services. Had I not taken advantage of gone ahead and confirmed her and even followed through with writing this post, I wouldn't have gotten ahead that far in the conversation. So it is pretty easy to take advantage of building relationships on Facebook. Number 3, I think this is one of the most engaged opportunities and most fun opportunities for you to say hi, especially after a year goes by and you haven't had a whole lot of communication. Now, case in point here is when you are on your news feed, up in this right navigation, you're going to see home, and you're going to be on home. If you aren't there, just click on home and then your page will refresh. Top right corner, you're going to have a birthday cake with one of the names of your friends who has a birthday, followed by whatever number of others share that same day. So here you can click on that, and then there'll be a drop down that will open up each one of those walls for your friends where you can write a personal message. It's very efficient. Pop it in, click, and pop it in and click, and keep going down for as many friends as you want to wish. So here's my example. Lynn and I don't get together very often, but maybe once a year we talk, and we haven't gotten together in probably a decade. But there's something about our friendship that no matter what time passes, we always seem to rekindle pretty quickly because we just had a really solid friendship in college. So here, she is a friend, and she is a professor at UCLA. Just a fantastic person that I want to make sure that I never overlook to really bringing her my talent. But with my birthday post and my genuine wishes also comes my personal Facebook icon that stamps this. So now she's got a chance to be able to see, what am I up to? Oh, what happened in the life of Donna? What happened in the life of Summa Social? So with my personal brand comes all of the credibility of my business. And that's one of the reasons, when you think about the science behind why you would post a birthday message, you want to be top of mind with the people that mean the most to you and could recommend you, because they'll speak volumes about you versus a cold stranger. The fourth tactic, and again, we're looking at this, keeping this within 20 minutes. We're going to time bound your social media or your Facebook activities within 20 minutes a day, is wall posts. And remember I said, let's post on your business, which is on the left-hand side here, and then let's post on your personal. So here is a client. She is a brand new author of a Christian woman's book, Bathsheba Bathed in Grace, and it encapsulates the first-person stories of 8 prominent women of the Bible. So here on her business wall, she goes ahead and she posts a glorious testimony from a local celebrity, Bill Daugherty, the publisher of Trends magazine, and he alone has an incredible following. So she posts his testimony, adds his picture, as dapper as he is, and then she goes ahead and she ad tags him so that this exact post stamps on his personal profile wall, because those two are friends. And as you can see, she's got 20 people, 21 people up here that have liked her. She's got 4 comments. But as you can see the quality of the comments, I really want you to understand the strength behind her posting this. Remember, a testimony is a third-party validation of you being excellent. So she posted his third-party validation, a great picture of him. He's a local celebrity, tagged him. So she's got a little science behind what she's doing. But then look at the art of what really follows through here. She goes ahead and she says, thank you, Bill, for those beautiful words. And then one of his friends goes on to Carol's page, likes it, and says, I love recommendations for good books. I just Facebooked Carol to find out where I can grab a copy. And you know what? She ordered a couple of copies. And then you have Melissa Branning, not a friend of Carol's, but a new fan of Carol's, because this post stamped Bill Daugherty's wall. And now she's looking for a great new book. So out of this, she got multiple sales, all because her genuine intention was to showcase a man of the valley who really sees the best in her book. But the science behind it is she understands that he's popular. She ad tagged him, and she knows that when he says something, his words are never in vain. They are meticulously chosen. They're well-planned words. And these well-planned words have delivered her 2 new sales. And that first one being multiple purchases. And then you have a compliment of what Carol posts on her personal. So here, you want to utilize your personal profile as a complement to what your business brand is. You don't post the same exact things, but you know your friends really well, and you know why they like you. And she tends to be a Bible study leader, a real solid pivot within her community for guiding women, young women, women of her same age to make wise decisions in their marriage, etc. So she posts some of these questions on her personal. What if the trials of this life are his mercies in disguise? And you can see 27 people have liked it. She's got multiple comments. But one of the things that I want you to see here is that she has identified a brand for her personal and a brand for her business. And both of those brands are engaging, which you can see by all the likes she's getting, by all the comments she's getting, and then what you'll see in future postings, all the shares that she's getting. Newsfeed. This is where you're going to head into the home of your personal profile, or you're going to head into the home of your business. And both your business and your personal have what's called a newsfeed. A newsfeed is an aggregate or a bulletin board of all the postings of your friends in your personal newsfeed, or of the business pages that you've liked inside of your business newsfeed. So when you go into the newsfeed of either your personal or your business, you want to head in there and look to see what postings from your colleagues, from your friends, from other business pages can you like, can you comment on, can you share? Because again, the art here is you want to build a relationship, and you really want your personal brand and your business brand to show that you care about people, because people buy products. But then let's talk about the science behind it. The science is, for example, Steve. He went into his newsfeed as his business and also his personal. And then he realized other people were talking about, well, what can I get? This was last year. What can I get for my friend on her birthday? Any ideas? It was just kind of an open-ended. There was another post that had asked, what can I do? This was last Valentine's too. What can I do for Valentine's Day that's a little bit out of the box? And what would be a good idea? So he took advantage of liking the post, which doesn't show your name on it that you liked it unless someone clicks and expands the number of likes. He then took an extra step and he went ahead and he commented on it. When you comment on a post, you stamp your profile or your business page image along with either your name or your business page title that is hyperlinked back to your business page or your personal profile. And why that's so important is if the person who, or the multiple people within that conversation, like what you've commented, then they have a chance to be able to go back through your hyperlinked name and like your page or ask you to be a friend. And the benefit, of course, for Steve was he had bottom line value. He was offering a free MP3 DVD of his brand new single. And he is a starting country artist, but he has an incredible voice. So he is no starving artist at all. He definitely has the chorals behind him to back up some strong, deep alto or bass and tenor. And you'll really enjoy his lyrics that he writes for himself. But what he does here is he gave them a gift. He solved the problem of the Valentine's need and the birthday need. So that was shared a couple of times. Then they came to his business page and they liked it. They even went on his custom landing page, saw how they could get more music, downloaded some of the free, and he said that he had gotten some sales off of that 1 day's worth of commenting that he had engaged, and that took him just a couple of minutes of being in his newsfeed. So when you can offer, if you were a realtor, perhaps you'd offer a free search. Maybe someone is struggling with relocating and they just don't know what's the best location within Arizona. And they say that they've got 3 kids and they like to be more in a community, or they like to be more in a condominium, or they want big open space. You can help identify the community, or at least the area of the network, the city, And then you can provide your services as an opportunity to help them find exactly what they're looking for. You could be a dentist and just say, well, it just so happens if I would love to have you take advantage of our buy one, get one, or come in for a free cleaning, etc. Taking advantage of some promos that are really modeling your business brand, but more importantly, giving them something that is meeting their need speaks volumes for you getting more likes and definitely getting more customers. And then we talk about welcoming fans. This is another tactic most people overlook. This was given to me, as you can see, it's October 31, 2011, but I've kept this because to me it was just such a very inviting thank you message. It came from Zips Energy, and I had liked something on their page. I really appreciated their sunflower seeds, and they're just a yummy product, and they're a fun product too. So here, the owner sends me a private Facebook message that says, my name is Jason Morris, owner of Zips Energy Sunflower Seeds. I'm so excited to hear that you enjoy our products. Any feedback is greatly appreciated as we strive to provide the best quality to everyone. I hope you enjoy the seeds for years to come. Thanks again. So he did a lot in there. He really affirmed me as being a loyal brand consumer. And he also gave me the assurance that he was going to continue to produce those same yummy seeds. And if I had any questions or insights or feedback, I was welcome to give them to him. So if you can craft a message every time or most times that you have a brand new fan, this speaks volumes, because most people, when they have a fan or they have a friend, they just click add a fan, add a fan, add a fan, add a friend, add a friend, add a friend, and you're just a number. People know it. But when you go out of your way to really make an intentional, hi, how are you? Thanks so much. People crave the gratitude, remember, and they always remember when you can make that personal touch. And then finally, in your 7-item daily checklist, we have respond to fans. This is where when you make a post on your wall, you are not just gonna be out of there for the rest of the day. You're gonna make sure that come the end of the day, you've gone in, or perhaps multiple times throughout that day, you're gonna go in and you're gonna follow up and see who has made postings on here. Because oftentimes it's not just a like, oftentimes it's a question and they want an answer to it. So don't be a hollow automated service. Be someone that's very responsive, and then your fans will be responsive to you. So an example is of a realtor. On his personal profile, he does something fun and throwback photo. Every Thursday's a throwback Thursday. So he puts a photograph up here of him when he was younger and his kids were younger. And he talks about Joshua, Jacob, and Zachary are checking out my new bouncy open house signs, which were accompanied by an inflatable branded commercial bouncy house and aerial blimp from the early days of my time with Remax. This is a great way, again, to brand his business with his personal profile. And it's also branding his personality, because he loves people and he's animated and he's energetic and he thinks out of the box. So as a realtor, that speaks volumes to his friends, not as a pitch, but as something fun, and also assurance that should they choose him, when they choose him again, he's going to make the process fun, engaging, and definitely an outcome that is well worth starting. And you can see here, he is not absent from the conversation. He is every bit present, and he's communicating back and forth with people. This case in point, he ad tagged Mark, who was the first conversationalist, and he said, still deciding. Then coming over here on his business page, he talks about a new listing, and he does it in a very engaging way, full of keywords that people would use if they're looking for a home within a search engine. So remember, the big fish needs to eat the search engine, which needs to eat your content. And so your content could be 5 bedrooms, detached casita. It could be low traffic cul-de-sac. It could be Bernardo Springs, Copperwood. Those are keywords that the search engine is looking for if the consumer has put those in the search engine in the first place. But case in point is responding to the fans. So isn't this pleasant when You make a post-it on a listing, and look what Monique says. How much? Or can you not say yet? And here he says this home will be introduced at $675 to $725. That is a huge opportunity for a realtor to be able to talk price so quickly in a conversation. So use this as an example for not only how to respond to fans, but how to post in the first place, and then integrate your personal profile with your business profile. When the clients or your prospects search in any search engine like Google, Bing, Yahoo for general topics or keywords, your Facebook posts, yes, remember this, your Facebook posts can be featured in the drop-down menu of 8 options on the first page. So when you're consistently engaging on Facebook, you not only feed the outside search engines with relevant content, remember, go back to the fish story, but you build a personal and a business brand that's worth following and buying from in the first place. So here's a recap. You are going to do the Daily 7. And the Daily 7 breaks down into 3 categories. You're going to invite and you're going to follow up with your targeted fans and friends. And then you're going to engage so that you and your business stay top of mind. And this is where you gotta like people. People are kooky, people are crazy, people are engaging, people are fun. But sometimes, within our own mind, we get kind of a little tired of the same old, same old. So if you go outside of your own brain and you really take the time to engage with people, genuinely caring about them and getting to know them, that is when you will affect the bottom line of both your personal brand and your business brand. And then finally, building relationships. This is moving people from the know about you to the like you to the trust you. So when you build relationships at the trust factor, you can convert more sales. So here we have just one question that's come in. And I'm going to identify it on this next slide because this came in earlier in the week as well. This is something where these 7 daily habits are actually on a checklist inside of the Summa Social dashboard. So remember that this ebook plus a lot of other simple, helpful ebooks are always ready to download from the Summa Social dashboard. And if you've misplaced your login password and your username, then send me an email at donna@summasocial.com and I'll give it to you again. Doing this checklist of 7 every day, or at least 3 to 5 times a week, and doing it 20 to 25 minutes at a time, really sets you with a practical sense of urgency. And without that tension of keeping it within 20 to 25 minutes, 3 to 5 times a week, the daily checklist is really unlikely to produce a relevant outcome for you. So here's the good news. As you carry out these daily steps, think of one of my favorite 7-year-old friends, Nicole. She actually was studying the anatomy of the human body last week in 1st grade. And the teacher gets up and she says, "Now kids, remind me again what happens to your body when you don't drink enough water after you exercise." Well, my earnest 7-year-old friend, she jumps out of her chair because she wanted to be the first person to say the right answer. And the teacher says, "Okay, Nicole, tell us." She said, "Your body craps." And you can imagine it was dead silent in there because in 1st grade, we don't talk about stuff like that. So the teacher says, "What'd you say, Nicole?" She said, "Well, your body craps." Oh my goodness, the whole class starts ruckus laughter because what they heard the second time was every bit what she said the first time. And then the teacher trying to rally back the classroom and take control of it again. She says to Nicole, "Now, Nicole, I think you meant cramps. Your body cramps." And Nicole so intentionally puts her hands on her hips and says, "Well, I couldn't pronounce it." And isn't that the case with all of us? Sometimes we just don't know how much time we should spend on social media. What exactly should we do? Well, to the point of Nicole, she couldn't pronounce the M, and it was only the M that was missing from the correct answer. She knew what the answer was, but she couldn't pronounce it. So here you have the answer. You've got the 7 daily habits for Facebook marketing success. You literally have these blue check mark boxes that you can print out the first page and check it off. And then pages 2 through 6 will identify exactly how to do it in case you wanted to have a step-by-step tutorial. And then you'll be able to time-bound it so that you'll have a practical sense of urgency and you'll be more efficient with doing social media. Hey guys, if you've got any future questions, feel free to just send them my way. Either email Donna at Summa Social or go ahead and post them within inside of the group, which is Summa Social Elite, or put them on our wall. And also, feel free to follow either myself on a blog, watch our videos, or like our Facebook page if you haven't already. But to the point that you should watch our videos, one of my colleagues was actually asking earlier in the week a little bit more about Pinterest. How could they identify Pinterest, and how did it all kind of integrate with what Facebook was doing and Twitter and LinkedIn and eProperties and all of that? Well, I've got a lot of great tutorials that are full of practical actions, big picture, but practical actions so you can see some results, all on our YouTube channel. So feel free to head over there. And thanks so much, everyone. Really appreciate you taking the time to spend Valentine's Day with me. Have a wonderful day. Happy Heart Day.